Well. US and China agree to slash tariffs for 90 days as trade talks continue. That's crazy. US agrees to drop 145% tariff on China to 30% while they negotiate. So Trump ended up capitulating. What's the video gotta say?
Massive tariffs on China that had raised prices and rocked the markets. The Treasury Secretary speaking this morning after negotiations in Switzerland.
We have shared interest, and we both have an interest in balanced trade. The U.S. will continue moving towards that.
The U.S. agreeing to lower its 145% tax on Chinese goods to 30%, while China will go from a 125% tariff on American products to 10%. China is one of the top trading partners for the U.S., last year exchanging more than $582 billion worth of goods. After tariffs from both sides, many businesses in the U.S. warned of rising prices and delays. Now, negotiations continue, China saying the agreement is, quote, an important step.
I think we're going to have a very good relationship.
It all comes...
Because keep in mind, the reason as to why the Chinese did not want to fucking negotiate with the Trump administration to begin with was because of the tariffs that they put in. They were just like, no, we're not talking with you until you get rid of the fucking tariffs that you put on unjustly. Which is why, Trump has been constantly asking, please, Xi, can you call me? I want to have an old man yaoi sesh with you. Please, President Xi, please pick up the phone. And bro, Top Xi was never fucking picking up the phone because he's like, bro, just get rid of the fucking tariffs that you just randomly slapped on us for like no reason, and then we'll have a chat.
As President Trump is set to leave for the first major foreign trip of his term, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, with some controversy as he starts the trip. Multiple sources tell NBC News that he's getting ready to accept a super luxury jumbo jet from Qatar to use as the new Air Force One.
That's so fucking funny that he's getting a new Air Force One. I mean, like, again, that's illegal under the emoluments clause under the Constitution. But again, this is the same motherfucker who says, like, maybe you can't have 30 does, maybe only 2 does. You can't have 250 fucking pencils. And the reason why he's mentioning those, like, quite literally with his fucking dumbass Marie Antoinette fucking esque moment of let them eat fucking cake memes is quite literally because he is afraid of these negotiations, and looks like he decided to fucking capitulate and cave. That's very, very funny. He really wanted Xi to call him, but no. Also, it has to be Congress that fucking approves this shit, not like the random Gulf states. Like getting a $400 million jet from Qatar, or from Qatar. Meanwhile, he just tells the American people, well, maybe you should just pay so much money on dollars or pencils or whatever the fuck. Very, very funny.
Two sources say the plane would be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation after his current term. A White House official tells NBC News the handover won't happen on this trip, while the White House press secretary says that any gift accepted will be in full compliance with the law. Critics are
quite literally, it's just not. But okay, dude.
Blasting the plan, and some Democrats say a gift that size needs congressional approval. The president calling the plane a gift free of charge to the Defense Department.
Gabe, I can only...
Even, like, sending it to the Defense Department is a fucking problem. Like, oh, so you're saying the Gulf states can just, like, fucking bribe anyone in the Defense Department with, like, a fucking 747? Okay.
Imagine the security concerns over this plane. What is the plan there in terms of being able to accept an Air Force One that carries the U.S. president and what those issues might be?
Yes, Savannah, in addition to the ethics questions that this brings up, Democrats are also raising those concerns about the security implications. Look, the plane basically would have to be torn apart to be inspected, checking for any security risks and scrubbing for listening devices. A Defense Department official tells the New York Times that the air...
That is true. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point, right? Like, there's no way this shit gets fucking approved because, like, all the fucking feds would have to, like, rip it apart, make sure there's no bugs or anything that the Qataris fucking put in or whatever for their own, like, listening in on purposes on the fucking president while, I don't know, he's, like, getting a golden shower or some shit, whatever. and to ensure that, like, you know, the thing is safe, because there's very specific regulations. I wonder why it was always such that the Americans were the ones. Like, it's just so stupid. I would fuck that shit up so hard, Lamau. Let's be honest here, dude. Like, it's just a fucking stupid ass shit show. It's so fucking goofy. The most goofiest outcomes possibly happen. Just keeps constantly happening with this fucking administration, seemingly.
Air Force has not yet reached any agreement on a contract to refurbish the Qatari 747 to make those security modifications, and that the Air Force cannot legally do so until it takes ownership of the plane. And even then, it could take some time to make the upgrades. The president, meanwhile, is calling this a very public and transparent transaction. Savannah?
That's Gabe Gutierrez at the White House. Thank you, Gabe.
About that. Nice meme. So, I mean, besides that, like, mostly talked about the dumbass whatever the fuck bullshit over there. It's cool. It's whatever. What we got? The United States and China announced a 90-day pause on most of their recent tariffs on each other, fueling hopes on Wall Street of a cool down in the trade war between the world's two largest economies. A 90-day pause. So there's still going to be uncertainty. Because, quick reminder, guys, you want to know, like, one of the biggest problems with the tariffs and why it caused the fucking economy to crash all the time is because of, the fact that it was causing uncertainties. Markets are very well known for being big fans of uncertain things that happened. The combined U.S. tariff rate on Chinese imports will be cut to 30% from 145%, while China levies on U.S. imports would fall to 10% from 125%, the country said earlier this morning. So I believe there was already a 20% tariff that Trump put in, and I believe that's still staying in place. Officials met in Geneva over the weekend for their first face-to-face talks in President Donald Trump's shock tariff rollout on April 2nd, when he imposed 84% duties on Chinese imports, adjusted them to 125%, and soon after hiked them to 145% because he got fucking mad that Xi Jinping wasn't giving him his gay call that he wanted so badly. Because that's why he was complaining about this the whole time. The new 30% rate is the sum of the 20% duty imposed Trump imposed early in the second term over alleged Chinese failures to curb fentanyl flows, and the universal 10% tariff that he has applied on to nearly all foreign imports. Markets surged on the news of the detonate. The broad-based S&P 500 was trading 3.1% higher Monday afternoon, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average added 1,100 more points, a roughly 2.7% gain. The tech-focused Nasdaq surged 4.1%. European index posts modest gains Monday. Markets across Asia had upbeat sessions as well ahead of the news, anticipating some kind of trade agreement and also welcoming a ceasefire between India and Pakistan that largely seems to be holding. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index soared on the news of a U.S.-China agreement, closing more than 3% higher. Dude, it's so fucking funny how, like, literally, what was the point of doing all these tariffs? Literally, what was the point of doing, like, any of this shit to begin with if it was just gonna cause, like, instability and bullshit? Like, again, because markets, very, very well known for being big fans of instability. Yet some analysts have urged caution, noting that tariffs remained far higher before Trump regained office. That suggests many consumer goods, from cars and groceries to fireworks, are set to see price hikes. Federal data is set to provide a fresh inflation snapshot on Tuesday morning, and we'll see what happens there. The full set of U.S. tariffs would still be considerably higher and broader than expected by markets at the start of the year, Goldman Sachs analysts wrote in a note to clients Monday, noting that the 90-day countdown should keep uncertainty high for both investors and businesses. Because, again, if Trump just decides to randomly get fucking mad again, what happens? Oh, the tariffs could just all of a sudden start rocketing back up. And, whoa, the whole fiasco starts all over again. Who would have thought that this is just stupid and that markets sure do love uncertainty? I mean, I'm curious. Let's take a look. So they've gone up today, right? Up 3.6%. Still down overall from where it was in the beginning before he announced the fucking tariffs. This is where he decided to do his dumbass tariffs and fucking caused a crash in the economy. Hilarious. Dow Jones up 2.8%, 1,100 points. Woo. Still down overall. The NASDAQ. Oh, it went up 4%. Look at that. Oh, it's still down overall from the stupid fucking shit show that he caused earlier. Crazy. The U.S.'s effective tariff rate would now be 17.8%, the highest since 1934, which Yale Budget Lab researchers estimated Monday would dent households' annual purchasing power by $2,800. The United States has a larger goods trade deficit with China than with any other country, and Trump has often accused it of ripping off the U.S. through unfair trade practices. No, it's just that you fucking import a lot of stuff from there because, whoa, you, broadly speaking, corporations fucking, export a lot of their goods and services from, well, China. China has a fucking export economy. That's why. He still doesn't, to this day, will Trump ever learn how a trade deficit works? I guess we're gonna find out fucking next time on Dragon Ball Z or whatever the fuck. It's stupid. Unlike other U.S. trading partners, Beijing responded by imposing retaliatory tariffs and other countermeasures that escalated into a dizzying game of one-upmanship. That is awkward to say. Jesus Christ. The dueling import taxes were the equivalent of an embargo, which neither side wanted, said Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. We do want trade. We want more balanced trade, and I think that both sides are committed to achieving that. Really? I don't believe that for some reason. I don't believe that. Bessent, who represented the U.S. in the talks with Beijing, along with Trade Representative Jameson Greer, rejected suggestions that negotiating right away would have been more productive than triggering a tariff spat that caused global financial turmoil. Says that a business-as-usual effort to rebalance trade would not have worked. What? Fucking evidence? Crack pipe. The U.S. and China now have a mechanism to avoid the upward tariff pressure, Bessent told CNBC Monday. I would imagine that in the next few weeks, he will be meeting again to get rolling on a more fulsome agreement, he added. Greer noted that separate discussions on fentanyl were on a very positive track. Sure, man. Whatever. The Chinese Commerce Ministry said the agreement was an important step and creates favorable conditions for further narrowing differences and deepening cooperation. It is hoped that the U.S. will build on the foundation of this meeting, continuing to work in the same direction with China and completely correct its unilateral tariff practices, a spokesperson said. Bessent emphasized that the U.S. does not want a broad-based decoupling from China, preferring instead a strategic decoupling, because we realized that during COVID, that efficient supply chains were not secure supply chains, whatever the fuck that means. He told MSNBC. So with steel, with semiconductors, with medicines, with a couple of other strategic categories, we are going to have to become self-reliant. But you want to fucking tear apart the CHIPS Act, which makes you fucking self-reliant in terms of semiconductors. Okay, man. Sure. Fucking literally represents the guy that had put in the fucking act that is trying to tear apart the thing that would have made the U.S. less reliant on fucking other countries for chip production. Do you see why this is, like, really dumb and frustrating very often? Because it's just like, dude, like, the CHIPS Act literally takes care of that. No, I don't like the CHIPS Act. We're gonna get rid of it. It's just like, but literally it takes care of the problem that you suppose. Nope, don't like it. Okay, bro. Sure, man. Whatever. We gotta scroll down. Tariff impacts are already being felt across the U.S., with shipping volumes from China falling sharply since early April, Danish shipping giant AP Moller Maersk said Monday that the 90-day reprieve was a step in the right direction that it hoped could create the long-term predictability our customers need. I don't like it because a liberal made it. That's true. That is literally how Trump thinks. Liberal made it. I don't like it. A liberal made this. Well, therefore it's bad. I don't like it. Don't like it, folks. I don't like it because of that. It's very dumb. This approach to policy in this particular sense is probably the fucking stupidest shit possible ever made by the Donald Trump administration. But whatever. Who cares? Stupid bullshit. Stupid. It's dumb. I hate it. The agreement is also good news for small and medium-sized businesses on both sides of the Pacific, said Tianchen Zhu, a Beijing-based economist at the Economist Intelligence Unit, a financial forecasting service, said it would be a very big relief for struggling small Chinese exporters, some of which have already lost U.S. orders for weeks, while American buyers are gaining some breathing room over surging costs, he said in emailed comments. The agreement exceeded expectation and has rekindled global hope, said Wang Wen, dean of the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at Renmin University of China. But Zhu and Wang both cautioned that many difficult issues remain to be resolved. This situation is a major test of the political wisdom and negotiation capability of the decision makers in both China and the U.S., Wang said. Ahead of bilateral talks in Geneva, Trump has expressed willingness to slash tariffs on Chinese imports from 145% to 80%, saying that level seems right, but leaving the decision to Basant. We can't get any higher, Trump told reporters late last week. It's at 145. So we know it's coming down. So, the astute amongst you are probably now asking, why the fuck did he do any of this to begin with then? Was it all completely worthless and pointless? Or was this like a 4D chess move? And I simply say to you, this is all completely worthless and pointless. And the only reason why Trump oftentimes engages in this fucking behavior is because he wants to feel like he's a big man in the room making all the fucking deals, and he wants to seem like he's fucking constantly doing wheeling and dealing. That's why. When I say that this is all just for show and it's a complete fucking LARPy shit show fest, this is what I mean by when I say that. It's all for show and it's a LARPy fucking shit show fest. It's all for pretend because he wants to pretend that I'm a big deal maker, I know how to make deals. So he's going to cause like inherent instability within the global markets for, well, no fucking reason except because he wants to feel like a special boy. Like, that's literally it, by the way. He wants to feel special. He wants to feel like he's involved. He wants to feel like I'm so good at negotiating. I'm so good at this. I'm excellent. I am the best at negotiations. I'm so good at it. And then, it's just like, Trump, you literally did that for no reason. Why would you do any of this? This is silly and dumb. And, then he's just like, well, you're fired because you're just a stupid libtard. You're a stupid liberal, and I hate you. And it's just like, okay, man, sure, bro. Actually, I need to rehire you because I don't have enough people in order to be able to do anything. It's silly, man. It's silly. How this is like, whoa, all of this was just for complete idle conjecture and was always meant to accomplish absolutely nothing and just for Trump to feel like a special boy. It felt like to feel like he was doing special things, and because he was just like, I'm just such a good negotiator. I'm so good. I'm so good at negotiating, and I know exactly what I'm doing. It's just fucking ridiculous and stupid that this is kind of like the position that we have to find ourselves in. But it's really dumb. All of these like effective fucking policies that used to exist already before getting like torn apart because like well, the liberal did it, therefore I don't like it. That's just how it is. And it's just like, but Trump, you're weakening your position for like literally no reason. Why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense. Because fuck you, libtard. I hate you. And it's just like, okay, man, that's cool. So overall, like, was there any point to any of this fucking nonsense? No. This is all very fucking dumb and stupid. And overall, wow, accomplished basically nothing. All because Trump wanted to feel like a special boy, like he was doing fucking special things, being very, very special. That's literally the only reason why he did any of this. And whoa, as a result, people suffered a lot of uncertainty for like literally no fucking reason and might have gone fucking bankrupt and suffered because of this. Crazy. And it was just for Trump to feel like he was a special boy contributing. Like, all the fucking like dumbass fucking Trump supporters who constantly cope and seethe about the fact that like, dude, this is totally gonna work and it's gonna be like so prosperous and so great for the nation. It's gonna bring us in so much money. He's literally reversing on all of it. Like, literally. So you just look at this and you wonder to yourself, was there any point to this? Did this accomplish anything? Very, very fucking stupid. Just dumb. Yeah, guys, yeah, exactly, Zane. Like, all part of the plan, 4D chess, trust the process. He knows what he's doing. He's not just doing complete random, idiotic, belligerent bullshit for, I don't know, because he wants to, in reality, feel like he's a fucking special boy. That's literally the only reason why he's, like, doing any of this stuff. He wants to feel special, and that's it, Yeah, I got faith in Jesus as well. Like, I don't think there really has to be anything else said about this besides, wow, this is really dumb and stupid and ended up not accomplishing anything, and he ended up fucking reversing on all of it in the end. Crazy. Nothing Whoa, looks like, guess who won again, boys? Nothing ever happens, bros. Who constantly seem to fucking win for some reason. Nothing ever happens. I always bet on nothing ever happens because seemingly every fucking time nothing ever happens, always just seems to fucking win for some reason. It's complete ridiculous bullshit. Nothing ever happens, bros. Stays winning. Fell for it again award, bros. Also fucking stay winning. Whoa, the fucking dumbass Trumpies fucking fell for it again. Nothing happened. And literally, it's the same idiotic fucking bullshit that he keeps taking as all of his like fucking supporters, the complete like dopes and rubes that seem to fucking exist in that constituency. That whoa, the thing that obviously was gonna happen fucking happened every single time, and whoa, the economists happened to be fucking right again, and Trump ended up caving because he got fucking scared, and nothing ever fucking happened. Crazy. Who would have thought that such a thing would be conceivable? It's silly, it's stupid, it's frustrating, and I just really despise all the fucking like dumbass Trump supporters who are just like sitting out there constantly LARPing and pretending, saying like, oh, don't worry guys, totally, everything is all according to plan. I totally accounted for all of this. Like, nothing ever happens, and stuff like that, dudes. I totally knew that this would happen. It's just silly, man. It's just so goofy.